Minister, Territorians are sadly all too familiar with the Labor legacy this government has inherited. Projects spiralling over budget, timelines blowing out, and a staggering $1.4 billion black hole in unfunded liabilities. It's a debt that's hard for everyday Territorians to even comprehend, but it's a debt felt in my electorate of Drysdale. The Alice Springs ATSIAGA project is just one example of this economic mismanagement, a mismanagement that affects every Territorian. Can you please update the House on the current status of this project?
Minister for Logistics and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Drysdale for his question, because I know that the member for Drysdale understands how finances work, and he advocates all the time to make sure that the people in his electorate are getting what they should and getting what they deserve. But let's go back to ATSIAGA, and this project was promised by the Gunner government right back in the early days, and now we're more than 9 years on living the ATSIAGA saga. Now let's take a look at how we got here. Let's take a moment to consider this. Back in 2017, Labor signed a deal to deliver the ATSIAGA in Alice Springs. 2017, Madam Speaker. The federal government chipped in $80 million and the Territory committed to deliver what was supposed to be $149 million to this project, including $20 million for a cultural centre, which the Labor government rolled into the ATSIAGA. Now let's fast forward to when the CLP came into government, Madam Speaker, and it didn't take long for us to realise that this project was cooked. The design was a grand wish list and not an actual realistic plan. The price tag had blown out beyond $300 million, more than double what was allocated and promised to the project. And the Albanese Labor government made it very, very clear that there'd be no extra money from the Commonwealth for this project. That was all they were putting up. So where was the Territory supposed to find another $150 million, especially when Labor left us with that $1.4 billion black hole? Our budget can't stretch that far, Madam Speaker, and Territorians shouldn't be expected to foot the bill for Labor's mismanagement. We got to work immediately to find a responsible solution, a scaled and sensible design that would still deliver a meaningful project for the people of Alice Springs. We asked the Commonwealth to endorse that approach, but instead we had the member for Lingiari ambush the project at the last minute. And now, Madam Speaker, Alice Springs is left with nothing. We've had years of talk, millions wasted, and a Labor government ready to point fingers instead of taking responsibility. And in typical Labor fashion, Madam Speaker, they've kept changing the goalposts. That's why we've been waiting 9 years for this project, Madam Speaker. Territory Labor kept shifting the goalposts. They divided the community of Alice Springs. And now, since we've come into government and found the deficiencies in this project, we're now having federal Labor shift the goalposts. Go back and do some more consultation, change the location. We had a plan to deliver that project starting at the end of this year, but the rug has been pulled out from underneath us by federal Labor. They were not serious about delivering this project to the people of Alice Springs.